also learned you have to use a specific tone of voice. You can't start talking like this.
We need to have a talk. You've been doing this terrible thing, right? Like if it comes out aggressive.
You gotta think body language. Number one, I love you. How do you say I love you with your body language other than making out with them? But you know what I mean? Like, you gotta show that you love them. Show that you're not in attack mode.
Right.
And when you're in attack mode, you're talking like this and you're showing your attitude and you're saying, this is why I'm upset. Like you don't talk like that. If you're trying to actually get somewhere, you can't talk like that.
If you came up to me like that, I would become quite defensive.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd be like, whoa, you're doing this bad and you're doing this bad. And
that's the thing.
It easily becomes like, if I feel attacked, I'm going to feel like I need to defend myself and attack back. So I'm going to start pointing out all your faults.
Yep. And I can guarantee you.
And that's not getting anybody anywhere either.
If you're thinking in a loving way, you are not looking at somebody and trying to remember all of the reasons why they're bothering you all the time. If you're thinking in a loving way,
you're not trying to hurt them.
You're not trying to hurt them, and you're not trying to make them feel bad. You're trying to truly get through something that is hurting you. And the thing is, when you're married, you marry for love, right? Like almost everybody's trying, I hope at this point, getting married because they love each other, or they at least care about each other, or they have one purpose. And like, I think that is what's lost most of the time is we have the same goals. We're on the same side. Mm-hmm. But when you get nitpicky and when you are living with each other all the time, it's really hard not to get nitpicky. And I think that's what you need to remember. And that's another thing to like start the conversation off with. I love you. We need to talk about something hard. I really want to get to a good compromise with you. And what was the other thing we were just talking about? Being nitpicky?
Not trying to make them feel bad.
I'm not trying to make you feel bad.
That's another thing she does say. I truly am not
trying to make you feel bad.
When she's got something she wants to talk about, she'll say, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. Right? You preface a lot with that. And I think that helps me kind of like
back off of
let down my guard.
Yeah.
I can put down my sword and shield. It's right?
Like, okay.
And I can be ready to receive a little bit of constructive criticism.
Yeah.
Right?
And we have the same goals in mind. And then, we talk about how I am trying to do this certain thing. And you're like, well, I am too. And I'm like, exactly. Like, we have the same goals. We're just doing it in a different way. Mm-hmm. And that's helpful because you go, I think that relieves my stress because I'm like, oh yeah, you're another person that's just trying to work it out just like me, like through life. We're not on different teams. We're trying to work together, but we're doing it different ways. And that can just like rub you wrong. Mm-hmm. Oh, marriage is hard.
I think all relationships are challenging because you're trying to bring two different people who have totally different opinions or beliefs or views or perspectives and kind of come together so that you can be united.
But also be unique in your relationship with each other.
And still have your own identity, for sure. So
that's why it's so hard because, I think even with wars and things, like a lot of the time it started just because they live differently, right? Like, oh, they live this way, that's the wrong way. Well, no, your way is the wrong way. And then all of a sudden it's just this giant war and everybody kills each other. Like, we don't want to end that way in a marriage or in a relationship.
Right. You got to let go of pride, let go of greed, let go of anger and hatred. And it's all things that bring you down and make relationships difficult.
Here's the most important thing. When you go to have these hard conversations, your spouse, whoever you're trying to talk to, they will be able to tell if you're being authentic or not. If you're being honest in actually wanting to make a compromise and not just trying to force them to do what you want them to do. That is so easy to see through. Like, it's not about forcing them to see your way. It's about, you start off exactly like I said, and then you tell your side of the story, and then you allow them to have time to tell how they feel.
And if you want them to listen to you, you need to also listen to them. Because they might have a reason why they're doing something that you can't stand.
And don't interrupt them.
That you've never considered.
I interrupted you when I said that.
You always do. But I love you anyway.
Well, you allow me to interrupt you when we're having these conversations, but I'm much more careful when we're having a very
when it's a hard conversation.
Hard conversation.
For sure. Absolutely.